How's it going, people? I'm Zephyros, and welcome back to my channel. Today's going to be a video going over GR3 stage 24, which a lot of people do say is for them the hardest stage to clear, for good reason. Crazy requirements, but I'll run you through everything that I kind of used to get me there. All right. So, with that all being said, let's get into it. Now, before we kind of go over the run, there's just a few things to kind of mention, right? First thing to mention is the guide that I'm showing you also applies to stage 23 and stage 22, exactly the same guys, just much lower gear requirements, but you can still use the same kind of strategy. Timings are really important for when you deploy your heroes. I will kind of talk it through in the run anyway, but Lady Alex needs to be deployed at the right time because her passive, it needs to kind of trigger in between kind of the mobs, so that she starts targeting a specific unit in the run. So if you find that it starts kind of failing, and she's not hitting that unit, don't be discouraged, because it took me ages to get that timing down. It took a lot of failed runs, and I always say this in all my videos, right? It always looks really easy when you watch one of these videos. It's almost like, oh yeah, we just aced through it first time. That is not the case, right? It's failed run after failed run after failed run, before we get it right. And it's kind of coming out of the build, and tweaking the builds, like tweaking Kai's build to make sure he's doing enough damage and maximizing his damage, tweaking Alora's build and making sure she's doing enough damage. Lady Alex, Silas, all of these heroes just tweaking their builds to make sure we're getting that the required level of damage. So don't be disheartened if that's happening to you, because we all go through it, right? So yeah, let's go into the actual run. And as always, I'm just showing you that power of dominance is turned off, and then let's get started. So first unit you're going to place is going to be your Dallin. So you'll place her right there. She's going to act as your cost regenerating unit, and she's also going to act as your tank to start with, okay? And then at 12 cost, you're going to place Silas. Now we're just going to wait for Silas to be ready to ult, and pop that ult. And now we're going to wait for Dallin to do some cost regeneration so that we can place Alex, place Dalchan, and then switch Dalchan into her inspiration mode. And then at 12 cost, you're going to place Alora, and then you're going to activate Lady Alex. Lady Alex will just start slamming everyone, basically. She'll do her Mark of Enmity, which is this mark above this unit here. It's really important that she always has Mark of Enmity on this unit at some point, because Alora can't kill that unit on her own. So it's just something to look out for, okay? Now you're going to hold off on deploying Kai. Don't do Kai yet, because the boss will do an attack that chucks out 2 random bits of damage just like that. If Kai is deployed too early, what will happen is he can get targeted and he won't have a healer on him yet, so he'll just die. So just don't do it, basically. Just hold off until that attack happens. Then you can place Elowin and it won't be a problem after that. So now at this point, we're just going to activate Alex, activate Kai, activate Silas. And so now we need to make sure that Lady Alex at some point targets this guy. So she's not done it yet, but we have to hope that she will now do it now. There you go. So as long as she does it once, it's not a problem, right? Alora will be able to do the rest. She just needs to target once. If you ever feel like your units are kind of nearly dropping off, just drop your sprite, just to help with that, just to help keep them alive, like that. Yeah. So now we're just going to do Kai's ultimate again. This unit will drop off. and we're just going to wait for 3 of these guys to basically come out, and then we're going to ultimate with Allura. Now there's a chance, right? That attack there, if you can actually wait with Allura, because that attack can sometimes target her, so it's RNG involved. Obviously, I got lucky there, but if you think you can hold off just a couple of seconds extra and you don't need the extra damage, do it. Right. I'm going to activate Silas again. And ideally, we want some of the marks of enmity to now start coming on these units. Just because otherwise, if it doesn't, so perfect, it's come on them, so that's great, that's going to help with the damage. But what you do is you pick up your, activate your healer, pick up your Dalin, and basically your Eovar is there to mop up any extra damage that you need to do on this unit here, because he's going to leak otherwise, right? So we just have to hope that we actually get the ultimate up in time, which we should do. And then he should mop that unit up. Poof, that was tight. I actually deployed Eovar a bit late there. Don't do that. If you think that you're not getting enough damage, pull back that Dalin, activate your healer so that these units can tank the like those kamikaze kind of units. And then now that unit is dead, by the way, you can pull your Eovar back and drop Volker. But the earlier you drop Eovar, the earlier he'll be able to ult and he'll be able to handle that damage kind of a lot better, right? So next bit, what you're going to do now is you're going to wait, right? So you're going to get some mobs coming out here. You want to do as much damage here as possible, right? So bring your Silas out. You need to make sure, again, Mark of Enmity starts coming. You can also start healing here and activate your Kai, activate your Lady Alex. And so here you hope that a Mark of Enmity pops up on him. Activate Kai again, so there you go, perfect. Mark of Enmity will do its thing there. And now we just wait for the ultimates again. So again, you can always put some heals down. Once these guys are out, you can then pop Allura. And we need Kai to cycle through his ultimates again. If you feel like you need some more heals, drop Eloin. And so now, in an ideal situation, you want your Silas back up again. You want your Kai dropping his damage again. And so now, Lady Alex should handle this. These guys handle the boss, perfect. And now we just need a bit of extra damage on this side. So what you can actually do, if you think that you're going to struggle to kill in time, which you shouldn't, you can actually drop Lady Alex. Kai should be able to pop these guys off, you would hope, but he didn't. So in this instance, you need your Eovar to mop up. And he should be able to do it, you hope. And just like that. So that was actually a bit messier than normal, because normally Kai would actually handle it on his own, but I must have missed a cycle somewhere. Or you can actually tweak the build slightly, so add a bit more crit damage, take a little bit of attack bonus down, and put in a bit more crit damage in there. So what I'll do next is I'll obviously go through the builds with you and show you exactly how I did it and what builds you need. There is no denying, right? The builds need to be incredibly good. The gear requirements for this stage are pretty nutty, okay? I'll be completely honest with you. So if we go into the actual builds. Right, so Eovar, obviously he doesn't get placed very often, and he's not down for long. So putting Soulbound Arcana, putting in your even your Infernal Roar and stuff like that, I don't think he'll benefit as much as he does from his Aegis Wrath, because Aegis Wrath just gives him the straight stats. You just want the moment he's put down to just do as much damage as he can, right? The Aegis Wrath just increases that. So this is why I built him in Aegis Wrath and not in Infernal Roar or anything else. His pieces are good, so I've got an Eovar quad stat piece there. I've given him this. Technically, I should have actually put him in an attack piece just to make him do more damage. I don't know actually why I put him in that. If I'm completely honest, that should have been a quad piece. I don't have quad with speed, annoyingly. So the next best would have been actually to put crit rate, crit damage, attack bonus, and flat attack. And then this is just attack bonus, attack bonus, attack bonus, all quad pieces. Okay. Next up is Silas. Silas, I built in Infernal Roar. Again, he is in quad piece, quad piece, quad piece. Okay. Here, again, another quad piece. And then I actually put him in a HP bonus just to, as the additional substat with attack bonus crit rate. So I've got him try and stick to this build where you give him a little bit of HP, because otherwise, if he gets targeted by that that attack, which randomly selects 2 units, he can actually get one shot. You know how you saw Kai get one shot? That can actually happen to Silas as well. So make sure you do that. Get one substat, and it's better to put it on this piece, because if you haven't got a quad Wicked Vengeance, then you're going to need a 4th substat anyway, and that can be your HP bonus, right? So Artifact, I've got him in a maxed out Eye of Penitence, his exclusive. Then next up is Lady Alex. Lady Alex is in an absolutely cracked build. I'm going to be honest with you, right? Her build is solid. Quad, Peace, Wicked Vengeance, God rolls, right? Then I've got her in this Raid Regen because, again, I don't have a quad piece with crit damage, so this just helps her cycle through her pieces. Obviously, God rolls in terms of the attack bonus. But yeah, this is the best combination I have of Wicked Vengeance. Then I've got her in this piece. Now I can afford for this crit rate to be just rubbish with good pieces here, but just because my other pieces make up for it and then some, right? So yeah, it just gives her enough crit damage, crit attack speed. Again, quad attack bonus, cataclysm piece, and then again quad cataclysm. In an ideal situation, you would actually have this as a piercer ring, but I don't have that. Or I do, but it's not as good as this one, so I just prefer building this. So yeah, in terms of her artifact, I've got her in Divine Justice. Sorry, I didn't actually show you his artifact. I've got him in a maxed out Sentinel's Eye. She's in a maxed out exclusive artifact as well. Allura, again, Allura's build needs to be good in order for her to deal enough damage for you to be able to then mop up the pieces. So she's in an attack bonus with a near yellow roll on attack. She doesn't actually need the attack here. So if you had, you could build her technically in a Wicked Vengeance as well. I preferred not to. I could have actually built her in a quad piece again, but I preferred this just because I've got a decent Warlord quad piece to pair with it. Then she is just full quad Soulbound Arcana, right? Soulbound Arcana, Soulbound Arcana, quad Soulbound Arcana, right? Again, she is in a maxed out exclusive artifact. Kai, again, Kai is in a quad Wicked Vengeance, and then he's in Wicked Vengeance where the HP is important on him. It's actually important. So building him with that HP is do it, so that he can tank the hit, basically. And I've again put him in a couple more HP pieces here. So HP bonus, HP bonus. He's only got one quad Soulbound Arcana, and that was intentional. I've built him around the 11k mark because he needs to be able to tank a hit. That the boss with the when they select those heroes who they attack, they can actually drop Kai off. The boss can drop Kai off. So just make sure that you're actually building him tanky enough to survive that hit. Next unit is Eloin. So my Eloin is actually in. She's in a pretty tanky build where I've put a HP bonus main stat on her just to make her tanky enough to survive a hit. Then she's also got a gold HP roll here as well, even though it's an attack bonus, an attack speed. So she's quick, right? She's crazy quick. But I've made sure I've got HP substats on her, so that she can actually survive. So get her to around this kind of HP level and push as much attack as you can, as much healing effect. Raid regen's not really important on her, so you just want her healing quickly, making her HP around this kind of level, and then pushing as much attack as you can. Right? She just needs to be able to keep your heroes alive. And then the same thing actually applies to your alien as well, right? So with alien's build, just make sure she's tanky enough to take a hit. So she's got attack bonus, attack speed, but she's got HP bonus substats, right? In all of those pieces, she's got HP bonus. And then I've also built her in tanky gear on this side. So gold HP roll, HP, right? I always try and obviously get the other substats to be attack bonus, attack speed, healing effect as well. But the priority is just making sure she can actually take a hit first and then pump in as much attack as you can. All right. With Dallin, she's just built as a tank, right? So HP, HP, and then here morale just so that she's increasing the damage of all your units, and then just tanky morale. HP, 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 all with defensive substats, so she can take a hit, right? So try and get these kind of numbers with Dallin. And same thing applies to Volker. Volker's not doing any damage, right? So just make her able to take a hit. Like she doesn't need to be in like your tempered will or anything like that. So Guardian does the job as long as they're all HP substats. She can take a hit as well. Perfect, right? No issues there. Sorry, I didn't show you the artifact. So she's in a key. You would have seen it pop up anyway in the thing in the run, but again, key as well. Eloin, I believe she's in a Tyre's Balm, yeah. And then can't actually remember who I put Alien in. She is again in Tyre's Balm just because when your heroes get hit and they're really low, you just want her quickly healing them right back up. Daochan, I actually put her in a HP main stat as well, I think. Oh no, I didn't. So I built her full attack, right? So she's still got HP substats here, just so that she can actually take a hit. But yeah, she's got enough there to just make her be able to take a hit and get healed right back up, right? So yeah, those are the builds. Daochan's in her own exclusive, but yeah, those are the builds, right? So it's Gear Raid 3 in terms of difficulty levels. I think it's very close with Gear Raid 1 in terms of how difficult it is to clear. There is an element of RNG in terms of who gets targeted throughout your run. But I think Gear Raid 3 has the highest gear requirements. It's the one that you need to have really good gear to be able to clear it. There's no denying it. 23, yeah, you could probably clear it with gear that isn't as good. But 24, you need kind of god tier gear, if I'm honest with you. Lady Alex is just MVP. In this, Lady Alex is just, she's so good. I think I would really, really struggle. I've got like a complete roster, right? And there's only a few heroes who I'm missing. And I would have struggled. Without Lady Alex, I would have really struggled. Silas is probably replaceable. There are loads of like quick damage dealers who could you could probably even put Eovar there instead. I've seen some people do it with Lucius, to be honest. Um, I've seen them clear it with Lucius instead of Silas. So Silas is technically replaceable. Lady Alex, I would really struggle. Eovar, you kind of need Eovar. You're not going to do it with Baraka, or it's going to. You might be able to, but it's going to be very, very difficult, right? Kai is great. Kai is so good on that left hand side. I found it easier to do it with Kai than I did with Nyx, which is why I used Kai. Alora, you need Alora. You need her to be doing that constant damage with her invisibility, so that she's not getting targeted. You don't need to be healing her. Yeah, again, you'd really struggle with that, Alora. Um, so yeah, I'd say they're kind of not really replaceable. Aelin, you need. I've seen people do it with Hollow. A lot of people do it with Hollow. I prefer Aelin just because I find it's easier to keep units alive. But Hollow just means that you can regenerate your ultimates quicker and just churn that boss down quicker. But yeah, I preferred Aelin, which is why I ran it with Aelin. But yeah, those are the heroes that I think are not. That's who I think can be replaced, but and who I think is really important. Doutan again MVP. You could argue now that with Narissa being there, you could probably use Narissa and put another type of healer instead of Eloin. But yeah, that's GR3 Stage 24. If you found it helpful, if there's any kind of any advice you need or any alternative suggestions you need, just feel free to drop a comment below or message me on Discord. I actually get a lot of people now who do message me on Discord, and it's a lot easier for me to actually show them videos of runs and things if you prefer that. So yeah, feel free to message me there as well, and please like, comment, subscribe. All right, so until the next video, I've been Zephyros. Stay blessed, guys. I'll catch you guys soon.